We're back.
Welcome to the TNT podcast. I'm Takumba.
And I'm Torin.
Yes, we are back. It's been a minute, girl.
Yeah, summer's been summering.
Life has been lifing.
It sure has.
Speaking about life, you just dropped off a whole human being at college.
We sure did.
How was that?
That whole process on its own is a learning experience.
I bet. I have to go through this next year.
Yes, you do. But the whole, just trying to get accustomed to this new life.
Yeah.
Of 3.
Oh my
the house
goodness.
It's still a process that I'm trying to get used to.
I bet. So how do you feel after you've had 18 years with your child?
I know.
And then to suddenly drop her off at college and now she's taken off. Like
I know.
Now her life is in her own hands, so to speak, right?
Well, it's interesting because there you are, this whole, 18 years, you have this person you've been nurturing, raising, and trying to teach them different ways of life, ways of life, etc. And then there just goes that whole 18, just like that, zip, and they're off. And you're like, wow, all of that.
Oh my gosh.
And, but I mean, it's part of life. It's bound to happen, bound to come.
Yeah.
So you just...
And it just goes so fast. Like everyone says, the time goes so fast. The time goes so fast.
It really does. It really does.
I mean, I can't believe that mine is going to be going off to college next year. So we're just now starting the whole process. But tell me a little bit about the process. Like, how did you find the whole application, essay writing? How did you find all of that?
Can I whistle? What's that? How does...
I don't know how to whistle.
Like, no be smarting.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
But I mean, it's a new process for the students, the child themselves. The whole process is exhausting.
I bet.
I mean, they have to write this essay. They have to take these, SATs and all the different things that they have to take to actually get to where they want. How hard they have to work for throughout high school to make sure that they get the grade that they need to get to their choice. So you really have to credit this human being too for their effort. First of all, you got to always give them credit for their effort.
Right.
So, and then of course you let them know how proud you are of them. But it's a very tedious process, honestly, because just the whole essay part, it's not like you're going to write it for them, but just the pressure that they have to also, that they feel to say, hey, is this, am I up to standard with this? Everything. But I mean, obviously she moved past that and we're grateful for that. But then again, you're applying to different schools and you're praying and hoping that you get into your choice.
Right.
That's another thing.
Right.
So it's very, very, it's a lot of pressure for them, to be honest. But, at the end of the day, when you do get your choice, it's all worth it. You know that, all your hard work wasn't in vain. But it's tough on them. It's also anxious for the parent.
So the process, so when the time now comes and you start to get the schools and the mail is coming, how stressful was that? Like, waiting to see if you got into your choice, like your choice school and things like that.
So you know how you watch on TV and they're like, hey, they get this letter.
Yeah.
Well, now in this era is more so like an email notification.
Because before it used to be like, okay, if you get a big package, you got it. If you got like a small envelope, it's like, thank you, try next time. So.
But I mean, it was more so, you still get the letter.
Right.
You still get the letter, of course, but you get the email notification. I mean, that's what she got.
That comes first.
Yeah, and then I remember it was this huge noise and everything was like just rumbling upstairs and scream. And I was like, what is going on? So I'm in the office running upstairs and of course she got into her choice, her first choice. And it was something else.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. My child, you can literally know what mood she's in based on what music is playing.
Oh.
If she's like struggling to just get herself together, gospel music is playing.
She needs the Lord at that moment.
And then when everything is all dandy and she's cleaning her room, rap music is up there.
She needs energy.
So you just know like what's going on. But yeah, like the process of actually getting prior to, moving off to school is a very, very long process.
Yeah.
And then you go through that, you get selected, you know your choice, then you begin. You now begin this whole process of trying to get ready.
Right.
Did you get this? Did you get that? And then, of course, her choice is nowhere near home. So this is a thing whereby you're like, okay, you have to pack in, pack this,
Yeah.
pack that.
Yeah.
Just strenuous.
So with the when the results starts coming in, I mean, luckily for yours, she got her first choice. Did she have any friends who didn't really make it into their first choice?
So really, I don't recall her ever mentioning that.
Okay,
so,
that's
I mean,
good.
she even has folks from her school that are also there with her.
Oh,
too.
nice. So
and then
she's
family.
actually going in knowing people,
Yeah.
and then she's rooming with
Her family.
That is so nice.
That's a special part because I mean, for me, okay, so the whole experience once again of
Yeah.
this whole moving into school was equally exciting for me and her because even though I mean obviously my undergrad I wasn't in the dorms or anything.
Right.
I commuted to school in New York, so this is a whole excitement for me too. Like, hey, little did I know what was coming.
Yeah.
The stress that was coming along with it on the actual moving day. That's another thing on its own.
Yeah. So how is that? Because I think when we talked earlier, you had mentioned about they give you like 15 minutes to unload. And I'm like, 15 minutes? First of all, I think what goes through my head, knowing how I can be late to everything is, first of all, everyone has a scheduled time that they have to do the drop-offs. And then I'm like, well, what if you miss your schedule? Wait, what happens if you miss your scheduled drop-off time?
So something similar almost happened to us because you have to go somewhere to check in first and then you come in. I mean, they'll let you in. It's just, imagine if, luckily for her, her roommate is family. So imagine if you didn't get in when you were supposed to move in and the next person, your roommate, is coming in to move in and then you're all in there trying to upload stuff.
In a very
boxes,
tight space.
You're offloading refrigerator boxes, microwave stuff and this and all that. It's not going to work, but anyway, so everybody had to adhere to the time. But mind you, they give you 15 minutes to offload. So you're close to the entrance.
Yeah.
You offload 15 minutes. Then you're kind of directed to move the vehicle to a location that's probably maybe a 6 or 10 minutes walk.
Wow.
Mind you, it's blazing hot out there.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then everybody's trying to now begin to move stuff in.
Yeah.
The elevator in there, everybody's in there.
Everybody's waiting for the elevator.
It's so hot. It's exhausting and it's inducing stress. And even the students becomes regular. It's everybody's just...
So that excitement of actually getting in is not actually felt on that specific day.
No, not that day. Forget that day.
That day is just a stressful day.
And if you're anything like me, when it comes to moving in, house and stuff, I would not be around. I don't like it.
I just rather
That's one of the
somebody
worst.
else do all the setup for me.
I'm not saying I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I'm not lazy by all means, but that is just an area that I do not like.
Especially then you're now doing it with so many other people.
Yeah.
Right? It's a bit much.
It was tough.
Yeah. But how was the school? The school,
was very organized.
Was everything very chaotic or did you think they had a good flow and a good...
I mean, I've not experienced any other one, but I must give it to them. I thought everything was very organized.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
But it was very organized how things were done.
Very good.
I was impressed. But I mean, it's still a lot of people, so I don't care how organized you are. There's still bound to be some, maybe I was just impatient. You have to wait for the elevator. You have to take the empty boxes, and obviously put them in the dumpster. So it was a lot of moving parts and moving stuff going on. But yeah, that particular moving day is not a joke, just so everyone knows.
So I learned recently that there's something called empty nest syndrome.
I don't think I'm there yet.
You're not there yet. You still have one more.
Yeah.
But I mean, how does it feel though? How is it after? Because I can't even imagine that, one person is gone from your household.
I know.
Gone away.
Yeah.
So how does that feel? What does that look like?
Yeah, for right now, you process these things in waves, I believe.
Yeah.
Right now, it's still
And
just
it's still very new.
Yeah, it's still a couple of weeks. So
yeah.
I'm, obviously there's a void, hey, her room is adjacent to mine. And I'm like, oh.
Right.
Yeah. And there's no music blasting on a Friday evening, all of that's gone.
It's funny because you used to complain
I
about
know.
that music all
I
the
was like,
time, and
"Turn it
now you
down."
actually miss it.
Yeah, my husband said the other day, he was like, it doesn't feel like a Friday.
Oh,
You know, we're not listening to like this
Yeah.
latest song. Or like, who's this? So all of that, we miss that obviously, and it's interesting. And then I find out that why do I have all these leftovers? I'm not saying she doesn't eat that much, but there's like I'm still cooking the same amount of. I'm cooking for four,
yeah.
so now I have to adjust that so that I don't have all these leftovers like in the fridge. So things like that. But yeah, it's I don't know what it's going to feel like, a month, 2 months, 3 months,
Right.
but.
Right.
It's definitely a different phase.
Yeah.
And even for the sibling too. It's
Oh my God.
adjustment for the sibling.
I always say that when my first goes away, I don't even know what we're going to do because she does so much for me in that house. I mean, when her sister does one thing, like put one dish in the dishwasher, it's gonna be like, I'm the only one that does anything in this house. So I
That's last one right there.
even imagine just, the amount of things that I feel like I'm always relying on her to do. How different that's going to be. I mean, she's already started to prepare us like, okay, you need to teach that one how to do this, how to do that.
Yeah, get on it. Yeah, get on it.
Because when I leave, you guys are on your own. So
yeah, it's a very different feeling, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure we're all gonna get there. They're gonna leave the house at some point.
I mean, you
Sooner
don't
or
want to
later.
believe it, but that's that's it. She's gone. And I feel like the person that you dropped off at college is not the person that is going to come back to you upon their next visit home.
'cause
Because
they're gonna
now,
grow.
she's
They're gonna find
be
themselves.
a completely different person. She's going to be navigating things on her own. I mean, when they're home, we are, nudging them, encouraging them. Hey, have you done your homework? Have you done this? Even though I know that they're very good and very focused, but they still rely on us. They can't oversleep because we'll wake them up. But now they control everything on their own. Like
Every
you
single
have to
thing.
make the decision to go to class, right? You have to get up on your own.
Absolutely.
And do this
There's
thing.
no if your alarm. I
Yeah.
remember it might have been her 12th grade one time. I don't know what happened to her alarm. It went off and it just. Bottom line,
She just kept
she's
sleeping.
waking up when she's been in
class. Oh my God.
And I just walk in there and I see her there and I like,
Why are you still here?
and of course, you know how big her eyeballs are. Her eyeballs popped open. She was like, Mom, I knew that sleep was sus. You know what that means, right? Suspense.
Yes. I learned that recently.
And I'm like, if you knew the sleep was sus, why didn't you get up?
You keep going.
Exactly. And I'm like, you can't do that now, and I'm not going to be there to
wake
come
you
in
up.
and all that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's interesting, and it's interesting now because a couple of days after school started, because it's a very big campus. So obviously they're walking around. It's so hot. Classes, lunch. Just navigating the whole place. This child has been taking naps every day.
Oh my God.
It just brought me back to when she started.
Is it draining? Like it's draining.
Because I'll call in the afternoon. And she's like, the first 2 days, she didn't pick up. And then she calls me later in the evening. Or I just woke up from a nap. I'm just like, you take naps every day? She's like, after classes, and I go to lunch and I come back. And I was like, okay.
And it's probably draining more so because she's, now she has to like walk everywhere and it's a big campus, right? You have to walk to your classes and
you can rent they have those electric scooters where she finally got one that she can use to navigate to make things faster. Because other than that, this child went back to taking naps every afternoon. And I was like, do you remember the last time you would come back and take a nap was when she just started kindergarten?
Wow.
And then transitioning on, I think they stopped taking naps in schools then.
Yeah.
So I remember then this child would come home and just crash on the couch.
It just goes to show just the change. And I think the change also affects you. She's also going through not being home, not being in her regular environment.
Yeah.
Now she has to fend for herself, what to eat, because now she's not coming home and the food is ready. Mom doesn't have the food ready for you.
None of that.
So now she has to figure all that out by herself.
But she was like, oh, the food out here in the South tastes good.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, oh,
Okay, good.
I guess
But I mean, it tastes good for a while until you then miss your home-cooked food. You're going to like it for a little bit because you just feel so different. It's different. I'm out here until she's looking for that jollof rice.
I was like, maybe I'll ship some jollof rice, frozen ones to you and see what happens. But not until like end of October or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, it's been interesting.
It's been, so, I mean, overall, is there anything that you wish you knew before the whole process started, that you now know that would be helpful for those of us that are going to be going through this next year?
I would say, obviously, be involved, be alert, be very informative.
Yeah.
Try to get as much information as you possibly can about just the whole college process, you know, application, you know, the essays, you know, obviously tap into other people's knowledge who've experienced that.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, knowledge is power. If you know more, you can get better things. So,
yeah. It's interesting because, just this whole idea of going away and going so far away from home, it's not like you can just drive down and go see her. Like you have to actually get on the plane.
18 hours.
Yeah.
If you wanted to drive down, the whole day's gone. But yeah, it's something she decided she wanted to, how far she wanted to go. And I guess she's ready.
Yeah.
She's been ready.
You feel she's ready?
Yeah, she's a tough cookie.
Yeah.
I just said to her, I said, don't think you have to handle everything on your own.
Yeah.
Just let me know. Let me know if you feel like something
overwhelmed
it's a decision you're trying to make. And I'm not saying I'm going to make it for you, but I can kind of like help you.
You know, nudge you in the right direction.
Yeah, sometimes I think the thing with obviously there are different types of children, different types of personalities. Some feel like they have to, I don't know, some feel like they have something to prove and they have to do things on their own or make decisions without actually consulting anyone. But it's okay to call me and say, hey, this is what this was happening, this is what I want to do, what do you suggest? You know, just for
and I think it's important for them to know that, you know, everything is not set in stone. Things are fluid. If you get there, I think, especially coming from where we come from, there's this fear sometimes that when we go into school for a certain course or something, and then you're there and then you're finding out that
this is not it.
This is not really what I want to do. That fear of going back to your parents to let them know that it's not really, you know, what I want to do. Yeah. I mean, I'm always trying to tell my kids, like, listen, it's better for you to come and let us know how you're feeling, even though we may not automatically say, okay, yeah, you know, because I also want to make sure you're not just saying that because you don't want to do the hard work, you know. If it's genuinely you've just decided that it's not for me, that I'm thinking, you know, let's talk about it. You know, don't just sit there and feel like
not the Ninja. You must be a lawyer by force.
Like what? I want to go into the entertainment, What? But I feel like now they're getting a little softer towards that because they're seeing a lot of people who are successful. But in the past, you tell your parents, I want to be a musician, or I want to be an actress. Or you want to
be a professional soccer player, football player.
What? Like, they don't even want to hear that.
What do they call that one? Faggy kind of situation.
They will tell you happening. What? Like, what have I done? What have I done?
I mean, I've always been like open to just be the best you can be. You know?
Yeah.
Not everybody's meant to be a lawyer or a doctor or anything like that. You can equally be the best at what God has ordained for you to be. There's nothing as fulfilling as doing what you enjoy doing.
And that's the thing. I think that sometimes there's also that thing where people see someone successful in one area and then they try to go do that exact same thing because they feel like, oh, so-and-so is successful. Now, there's nothing wrong in trying to emulate someone who's successful or trying to, you know, oh, what can I do? But I feel like if you go into something that is not your passion or something that you're not going to love just because somebody else is doing it, that may actually hinder you being successful in that thing.
Absolutely,
because it's not your passion. Like some people go into it and they absolutely love what they do. We come from where everybody feels, you have to be a nurse in the United States to succeed. Remember when everybody was like, I don't know that
never
it's still
get
like
me to do it. I'm not cut out for that.
But before it's like everybody's a nurse. This is a nurse. It's almost like you can't be successful if you're not a nurse.
I believe there was a time when there was a shortage of nurses, right? Is that what it was?
No, I just feel that it's more so when a lot of people as immigrants are relocating and pretty much everybody that they're coming to stay with feels like the way that you're going to make it is being a nurse. And so there was a period of time where everybody thought you have to be a nurse to be successful. Now, it's not so much now. I feel like people are doing a lot more than being nurses. But there was just a time, that in the 90s where everyone's like, oh, you have to be a nurse, you have to be a nurse.
Not for everybody.
And to me, I feel like being a nurse, you have to have something in you to want to be a nurse and a successful nurse. If you're not like a caring, because it's not an easy job. Like yes, you make money, but you're also changing bedpans. So you gotta love what you do. You gotta love people. You gotta love, so don't just go into it to say, oh, I just want to be a nurse. I feel like the best nurses are those who this is always what they've wanted to do. This is their passion. They care for people. They're making a difference.
Those are the best ones.
Exactly. Yeah. Not the ones to go. If you're going into it just for the money, I don't think that's.
I think that's why sometimes you see some cruel ones.
Oh my gosh, some nurses are like, they're just trying to make. Day. That's definitely a topic for
another day.
Yeah,
but so you just allow your children to pass through you as you've taught them,
and then you let them be. It's so hard for me. Important. I mean, my husband was telling me that he actually went to boarding school at the age of 9. 9 to me, that's almost like child abuse. Like 9.
Let me tell you, I do know someone too who went to boarding school at a very young age. I think at 8, 10 or something of the sort. But listen, I can't do it. However, when you look at the characteristics of those kind of those people, they're very disciplined.
You're right.
Very, very disciplined.
Yes.
And I'm talking because I know someone personally.
Yeah.
Very disciplined, very brilliant.
Yes.
Just structured.
You're so right. You're so right, because he actually is very disciplined and very smart. And even though sometimes I don't like to say it, because then he'll be like, yeah, I know. But yeah.
Not for me though.
But can you just imagine, my daughter is 17 and I'm like having sleepless nights just thinking about when she's going to leave home. Yeah. And then you're telling me to send a 9-year-old off to school to me. When I look at a 9-year-old, I'm like, what? Like, to send that child away, I couldn't do it.
I'm even thinking about when my kids were 9.
Can you imagine?
No.
I couldn't do it.
They were probably still
say,
hey, did you moisturize your feet?
I couldn't.
And then send them off school. No. No.
Yeah, so
not for everybody.
I mean, I understand that we just have to trust that we've done, we've put everything we need to put into them. They need to go. I mean, if they need to go, they need to go.
There's you left. You left home.
Isn't that funny?
So, hey,
we left. So
that time will come.
Funny. Like, what? We left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 18. That time will come.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's so true.
Yeah,
and then we left to a whole different country.
There we go. So I mean, it's a great experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember she asked me. I mean, just weeks before actually moving day, she would ask me, "How do you feel?"
Oh,
and I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." Until now, she's gone, and I'm like, "Am I fine?"
I'm so fine.
Yeah, but I remember the night, the drop off day, and I think we were with her till like 11:30 p.m. I was like, at some point, are they gonna come chase us out of here?
Was her roommate there too?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's family, so family. We were all there. Yeah. We were all there, and we were like, okay, we've had dinner. We're just there, like, what else? What else? And then we gave this. At some point, she was like, I need to go to sleep. I'm tired.
You need to leave.
So we just gave our goodbye. We always said prayers and gave our goodbye hugs. And then I drove to the car because at that point, everything had simmered down. So we brought the vehicle up to the front. And then I went back in for another last hug.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't. I just went.
What?
Yeah, no, I had to.
You didn't cry?
No, I didn't. I just had like those multiple sessions of hugs. Like I said, I went back after we left.
Sure, I'm going to be a mess.
No.
Even my daughter laughs at me right now that I'm going to be. Oh.
You might not be.
Oh, no. For sure, I'm going to cry.
I thought I was going to.
Every time.
Maybe I held it back so much.
What? So every time my kid, I think 2 times that they started new schools, I would literally sit there until they got home and try to watch, were they sad that something happened?
Oh, Lord.
I'm always so, like, when they go off into new adventures, it always, but for sure, I think I'm going to cry.
I thought I was going to. Maybe I was just so exhausted. The whole day was
that
just
might
exhausting.
happen. If like, see you.
We had multiple.
I'll cry another day.
Yeah, it was multiple sessions of hugs.
Oh, my God.
And then she went off. And then, of course, they had that whole freshman week doing what they had to do, getting acquainted with the whole school and the whole thing. And then classes started. and then I sent her a message like, please don't wear short shorts to class.
Oh, my goodness.
So she sent me a video of our first day in this really long baggy jeans.
Say happy now?
How is that for a cover up?
Right. That's so funny.
Oh God! So we do this thing where she sends me her
fit for the day.
fit for the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
cute.
it's fun.
Oh. Okay. Well, great. Well, thanks for sharing the whole experience.
We'll see what happens. What kind of person she comes back home?
We'll give a recap of that. After she comes back home, is she the person that you sent off to college? How do you find her? And more importantly, are you going to change her room into something else?
No.
You're leaving her room for her.
The same child is like, I'm going to be FaceTiming to make sure
that you leave my room
clean. That was not for me. That was for her brother, but
her room is kept clean. Oh my God, that's interesting.
But yeah.
Well, so guys, we've come to a segment that we're going to title Things That Make Me Go, All right. So Toyin, what is something right now that when you see it makes you just go, or like what? Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously this is good and bad, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
For me, the one that I've been saying that has just gotten me like I'm tired is the word demure. Every time I get on social media, I'm very demure.
Very mindful.
At this point, what is the synonym for the word? It's maybe something more subtle, something a little...
Like,
right?
You're tired of hearing that?
The word at this point is not subtle anymore. No. It's taken away from the meaning and I'm tired of it.
But now you just put it in my head. Now you want to make me start saying,
please, no, I'm tired of it.
Okay, so that's your thing.
I'm
okay.
like,
no, I agree. I feel like every other reel now is like very
everything is demure.
Yeah.
And then I saw this on social media. This one Nigerian lady was tired of it too. It's actually, what's her name? Kathy. She had put a post up. She's a dancer as well, the top choreographers. And she was like, what is up with the word demore? She was just joking around, obviously.
Okay.
But she was like, demore.
Can you stop? That's so funny.
I was like, no way.
Oh my God.
So I'm not the only one that's tired of it. Please, enough.
Okay.
What's yours?
Okay. Mine. And this irks me every time that I see this, right? You know when people are trying to show you something on social media, Instagram or something, and they're doing a video, but then they're recording themselves watching the video so that you can see their reaction to the video.
But what is really important? The video itself or the person that is reacting to it?
It makes me so mad that you do a split screen and then you're showing the video and then you're like...
making facial expressions.
Or some people, it might be a joke. And then they're like laughing hysterically at the joke, or as the joke builds, then they're laughing. I'm like, what? Like, why am I watching you watch this video?
I know exactly what you're saying because I've seen it. I see them do it.
Me
why?
Crazy.
What is the purpose though?
Drives me crazy. It drives me crazy.
Why do they do that?
So I don't know. It's just really, the moment I see that, I'm just like so annoyed. Like, really? Really?
Yeah.
So guys, we want to hear what is something that makes you go, Like,
what is it?
We want to hear it, and we want you to leave a comment and tell us what it is. And then we might feature yours on the next episode and say it. But we want to know what your thing that makes you go,
Does it make you think? Does it make you happy? Or are you just tired of it?
Good or bad. It might be something, it might not be something annoying. It might just be something good.
Yeah.
And then also, if you have dropped off your child at college, how are you feeling? Let us know how you're feeling about that. Any tips that you want to give to me, because I am just starting the process. My daughter will be going off to college next year. So leave a comment. Tell us what how that was. How did you feel? Now, Toyin's daughter just went. So she's literally...
It's like a couple
2
of
weeks,
3
weeks in. For those of you that have done this and you are like,
been there, done that,
a year, 2 years, let us know. Let us know. How did they come back home? Like, are they now feeling so grown?
I know,
Do they
right?
think they can come into your house whenever they feel like it?
Or even if it's kindergarten, like they're just starting school. How do you feel about that?
So let us know. Let us know. Yeah, let us know how it is, once this big transition of, you now have a young adult who's now left your home and maybe you don't have as
Left
much
you lonely.
control
Just kidding.
anymore. Yes, but we would like to hear, leave your comment. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And we'll see you next
Next time.
time.